Hey everyone, Jenna here. I'm the founder of Star Family Wisdom, and I'm recording a super impromptu video today. I did not plan on this being a recording day, so, my hair's up, I'm doing my thing, I'm doing computer work, but I got a question from someone in our community that I thought might be good to address in this video. And this question was about Divine Mother and Divine Father. And this was within the context of starting to engage Yeshua's ancient holy practices. So if you've been following along with some of our recent videos, you've heard me talk about my recent, reconnection with these practices, these spiritual technologies. And I talk about that in a couple of other videos. I'll put a link to them here in the show notes. But these are incredible spiritual technologies and processes we can follow to activate our energy field, to align ourselves with the divine harmony of the universe. And specifically in one of the videos, I talk about the divine feminine energy of the universe and the rise of the divine feminine, and how we can better understand the role of divine feminine energy in our awakening and enlightenment process. So I wanted to pause and talk about who are the divine mother and divine father of our universe. And the question I got was, who are they and where does source fit into all of this? We have so many terms that we use now, especially, in this fast-paced awakening that's happening on the planet, and it can get confusing. So we actually have just launched a spiritual and cosmic terminology guide that you can download. There's a link to that in the show notes as well. That was my recent attempt at just documenting a lot of common terms that, have been floating around in my mind for the last few years. But who is Divine Mother? Who's Divine Father? That is God. God is both feminine and masculine. Source is God. God is the universe. And I am explaining this based on my best understanding, based on what I have been able to experience and embody as my journey has progressed. So we can think of the universe as this beautiful, energetic expression of both the feminine and masculine polarities. And in the lower dimensions of our universe, in this third dimensional physical reality, we're meant to experience the polarity of feminine and masculine, the polarity of light and dark. That is part of our experience of coming into separation, and then ultimately through our growth and evolution process, returning back to a state of unity. So we hear the terms unity consciousness a lot. Unity consciousness is about balancing the masculine and feminine aspects of ourselves. So when we talk about feminine energy or masculine energy, it's not about gender. And gender is an expression of those energies to some extent, but we all carry both energies. We all have a feminine expression and a masculine expression. We talked about it in Eric Rankin's recent episode, The Quantum Teachings of Jesus, where, he talked about Jesus's statement that I am motion and rest. When people asked Jesus, how are you the embodiment of God or the living Son of God? How do we know that you've become so connected and one with God that you're a living representative of that intelligence? And Jesus says, I am motion and rest. Motion being the masculine dynamic in our universe, rest being the feminine. dynamic. And in our Goddess Isis course, you can download a guide that helps you understand the qualities of the feminine and masculine, and helps you reflect on how those energetic expressions are playing out in your life. Because of where we've been on earth in recent times, because of the dark ages we've moved through, the pendulum swung. We went way far into the masculine expression of ourselves, and we allowed the masculine to become dominant, which creates problems. When we don't have a balanced expression of those energies, we're going to create distortion, and that distortion is going to play out in all sorts of ways. So the masculine energy is that more active, that more aggressive, that more logical, linear kind of thinking approach to life. And if we don't allow the intuitive, the receptive qualities of the feminine to guide the action and to bring balance to the masculine, we're going to end up with where we are now. So largely, over the last few thousand years, we went way into this masculine dominance, and that has resulted in a world of competition and seeking power, and we've really leaned into violence as a means of, well, I don't know why we do it. I guess it's as a means of gaining control and power. That's ultimately what it comes down to. But true power comes from balancing the masculine and feminine energies of the universe, the masculine and feminine aspects of God within us. When we can operate in a really balanced way, when those qualities of the feminine and masculine are perfectly balanced within us, and if we lean one way or the other, if we're leaning a little more towards the feminine, we're going to be more in flow with how the universe is intended to operate, and with the blessings and divine order that is present in the universe that we can tap into, that we can experience. So Divine Mother is the feminine aspect of God. Divine Father is the male aspect of God. And within the Hindu tradition and within the lineage, the divine lineage of Yeshua's ancient holy practices, which were brought to the world by Saint Sri Kaleshwar in India, within that lineage, we view Divine Mother as the ultimate source of this creation. We view Divine Mother as the energy that is giving rise to the physical reality, the illusion of physical reality. She is the one playing out the illusion of physical reality. And the divine masculine, divine father energy is the energy that moves the formless into form. And we can think of the form, the physical aspect of this reality, as being made up of the elements, and the divine father is in control of the elements and is in control of bringing the formless illusions, the formless energetic of the divine mother into the physical. So we bring that motion in to form physical reality. So we have this really, beautiful interplay between the feminine and the masculine. In a recent panel that we did on star seeds and star seeds on Earth, we talked about the womb of creation being this, fertile place of gestating our ideas, our intentions, our dreams. Not only does the womb, gestate life in a physical body, but we can think of that in terms of the universe and in terms of the Divine Mother gestating all of the divine ideas, all of the visions, intentions, thoughts that we have. We're sending that into the womb of creation. It is gestating. It is becoming an idea that is ready to take form, and then it eventually takes form through the masculine. So we won't get into all of it here. This is just that quick overview of, what is, Divine Mother, Divine Father. And, ultimately, when we start to tap into the feminine aspect of creation, the feminine aspect of God, and we understand that all of this was born from the feminine, we can start to gain a better understanding of what sort of power exists with the feminine. And we can start to gain a better understanding of how we can engage that power in our life. So if you're interested in learning more about this, check out the Goddess Isis course. We go into this in depth. That course is all about the divine feminine and activating the power of the divine feminine in our lives. And you can also learn more by watching Yeshua's Ancient Practices webinar or the recent Portal to Ascension conference talk that I did, and just start to get a little more acquainted with the role of the divine feminine. And in future videos, I'm sure we'll go into this in more depth. And on the Supernatural Souls podcast, we'll be talking about this as it relates to the lineage of Sri Kaleshwar and how he brought not only the spiritual technologies and practices of the Holy Family to the world, but how he really helped his followers, his students, understand the role of the divine feminine and the power of the divine feminine, and what sort of connection with God as mother can look like in our lives. So tune into that. You can find the information in the show notes below. I hope this was helpful for anyone who has been kind of, thinking about these things, or, finding some conflict between the idea of God, source, universe, divine mother, divine father. We can think of God as everything, right? So any aspect of this creation that we can experience, that's God. So we're here to understand that. We're here to integrate all aspects of God. And in the webinar, I talk a little bit more about my personal process of that integration and the intensity of integrating all aspects of God, right? As souls, when we come into the physical, it's what we're here to do. We're here to have all of those experiences and then ultimately integrate them and bring them back into that state of wholeness, to find our wholeness, to find ourselves as God, and to remember deeply, to remember at that cellular level that we are God. So I've been on that journey and am sharing openly with you to support you in that process. And I'm so glad we got this question. I think it's a great one. It was one that was confusing for me for a long time too, especially since we grow up in this, patriarchal, male dominated world, which is thought of God as a man and this, kind of aggressive, dominant energy. And it's so much more than that. So check out the links in the show notes below so that you can learn more and go deeper in your connection and exploration of the divine feminine. And I'll see you in a podcast episode very soon. Bye for now.